Hello, folks. Welcome to College Football Week 6 update. We'll start in the rivalry between the Hurricanes and the Seminoles, where Miami takes care of business 28-22. Carson back 20 out of 27, 241 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns. The Canes stay undefeated and likely to be favorites to head to Charlotte for the ACC title game. Florida State suffered back-to-back losses, but could they be still in the race for the ACC title game? We'll see. I think they'll try to bounce back. Of course, they dropped from 18 to 25th in the rankings. Miami jumped from 3 to 2. It's great to be a Bruin. Who want to predict this one? I did not predict this one, but you Bruins did. Shout out to the University of California, Southern California. Well, not Southern California, but UCLA. Shout out to them. 42-37 over the 7th-ranked Penn State, who are coming off a brutal loss at home in the whiteout against Oregon. And UCLA said, nope, we don't care. We're just here to win. Nico Nyamale on 17 out of 24, 166 passing yards, 2 touchdowns. He also had 16 carries for 128 rushing yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Jerry, who has been calling the plays, this is an incredible story, by the way. Jerry Nussmeier, or whoever the last name is, my respect, apologies, was the quarterback's coach, I'm assuming, had to do some play calling, and oh my, what a moment for him as a play caller, getting lit by the players and getting the chance. It's great to be a Bruin. While for Penn State, yikes. Honestly, for Penn State, they're not ranked this week. Embarrassment. Now there's no chance for you guys to go to the Big Ten title game unless you can beat Indiana and Ohio State and Iowa. Please, Penn State, do that. Another team that also had the same fate, Texas falls 21-29 over Florida. Brian Taylor Jr. for the Gators, 3 total tackles, 2 solo tackles, a half a sack, a half a tackle for loss. The Gators upset Texas. Texas had just flipped their script from number 1 to now unranked. Yeah. But what does this mean for Arch's future in Austin? Here's what I'll say. He's going to stay for another year, and he's going to be in the 2027 draft class. I'm not surprised. With a young quarterback, all the expectations was him to be the glorious Peyton, nephew of Eli and Peyton, the grandfather of Arch Manning. And then all of a sudden it slipped off of his hands. 2 losses. Ohio State makes sense. They were a better team overall. You lose to the Gators? Now what's going on right now? So the Gators are really better than the Texas Longhorns? Guess who Texas plays in this upcoming week? They got to have a Red River rivalry against the Sooners of Oklahoma, and they're undefeated. And Arch loses. If Arch wins this game, you can expect them to be back in the rankings. But if they somehow lose, well, Arch Manning, I don't know if you're the answer for Texas, but you got to get yourself up, man. Come on, get up. Get up. 16-ranked Vandy went to Alabama to celebrate closely celebrating their 1-year anniversary of beating Alabama in Nashville. But Alabama didn't care. They get their revenge, 30-14. Jam Miller, 22 carries, 136 rushing yards, and a rushing touchdown. Bama takes care of the Commodores. Cincinnati upsets Iowa State, 30-38. Jalen Hunt, 6 total tackles, 3 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss. The Bearcats end Iowa State's winning streak, and they are not undefeated anymore. 24th ranked Virginia gets a big time win in Louisville in overtime. Cam Robinson, 10 total tackles, 6 solo tackles, a tackle for loss, a pick, and a touchdown. Virginia, who would have predicted there? They're still in the rankings, boys. Congratulations, Virginia. But this game, I thought it would be Louisville on the other end. But I think Virginia didn't matter about that big win at home. So now they're carrying their momentum going. Clemson, coming off a bye week, dominates UNC 38-10. K. Klutnick, 22 out of 24, 254 passing yards, 4 touchdowns against Bill Belichick's defense. And we'll get to this one. I think if you're a UNC fan right now, Chapel Hill, I would start chanting "Fire Bill Belichick" and Mike Lombardi. Now, Mike Lombardi is the GM of UNC, and we already know who Bill Belichick is. But this is not going right in Chapel Hill. When they move on with Mac Brown, and then they go out to get the greatest head coach of all time in Bill Belichick, a lot of people were feeling like this is the guy that's going to help them be. He's going to be this genius. But he's never done it in college. He had distractions with his girlfriend. And then their first home opener game was a loss to TCU, which that was not expected. There was no surprise. Is he proven to be a college coach? No. I think he has to leave in UNC and maybe have his son Steve Belichick take over as the head coach of UNC. Baylor takes down Kansas State 34-35. Jacob Reading, 6 total tackles, 5 solo tackles, a pick, and a pick 6 with it. Baylor upsets Kansas State. So is there a chance that Kansas State in the title game? Nope. Baylor? Yeah, maybe. The greatest rivalry, tradition always in college football. Yeah, salutes. We have to salute to all armies and Air Force and navies as well, and the Marines. But for this one, this is for the Navy winning it against Air Force 31-34. Eli Henserich, 8 receptions, 243 receiving yards, 3 touchdowns. Navy gets a dominant win, gets a close win, but a strong performance for their wide receiver, Eli Henserich, with 243 receiving yards. My, oh my. TCU takes care of business against Canyon Sellers in Colorado. Namat Obazur, 10 total tackles, 5 solo tackles, a sack, tackle for loss, pass deflected, and an interception. TCU, they just take care of Deion Sanders. And for Colorado, most losses right now is 4, so now they got to wake up. Kansas takes down UCF 27-20. Trey Latham, 9 total tackles, 7 solo tackles, a half a tackle for loss. Kansas State flies away with a win against the Knights. Duke travels from North Carolina to California, and they beat the Golden Bears 45-21. Elias Sharber, 12 total tackles, 4 solo tackles, 2 sacks, 2 tackles for loss, and Duke is 4-2 this season. For Cal, no worries. At least contend for the ACC title game? With a freshman quarterback? Maybe. Depends on how their season goes. Here are the other games. West Virginia falls to 23rd ranked BYU, which they stay undefeated, 38-24. Western Kentucky, again, I said this in the prediction video. This one is the one I will look to keep an eye on also. They win at 27-24 on the road against Delaware. New Mexico unfortunately suffered a tough loss to San Jose State, 35-28. Ohio State dominates Minnesota, 42-3. Texas A&M takes care of business to the Mississippi State Bulldogs, 31-9. Texas Tech stays undefeated, 35-11 over Houston. Nebraska takes care of business over Michigan State, 38-27. SMU runs away and hoofs the Syracuse Orange, 34-18. Georgia gets back in the win column, 35-14 over Kentucky. Michigan dominates Wisconsin, 24-10. Notre Dame only allowed 7. Yes, 7. They only allowed 7. 28-7 over the Broncos of Boise. Wake Forest upsets Virginia Tech 30-23. Battle of a surprising Big Ten teams. Of course, you know Maryland's undefeated. They don't matter. Washington upsets them 24-20. And then let's finish with the great good one. App State. App State went at home. Okay. They welcomed the Oregon State Beavers. Yes, from the Pacific coast of Oregon. They flew to App State in North Carolina and they lost. And App State got a milestone win this year. They beat the Beavers 23-27. Go Mountaineers. That's it for my college football Week 6 update. If you have not seen my other videos, go check them out on my channel. Of course, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more sports news.